So how many times? They're out of control, these people. You're out of control. Out of control.
No one knows what goes on during the commercial break.
No. And when the commercial breaks, Tracy, who's a wonderful woman who warms up our audience. Where's Tracy? Right there. She is working these people. They're up there dancing. They're doing erotic moves. People are taking clothing off. Right? Am I right? Yeah, and you're loving every minute of it. So, do you actually talk out loud to yourselves as well? You are the type, absolutely, yeah. How many times have you been walking down the street completely lost in your head and you realize that you're talking to yourself? You ever done it? And then somebody looks at you and like, oh, yeah, think you're nuts. Well, a recent article on EliteDaily.com argues that not only is talking to yourself completely normal, it can be beneficial because it assists you with problem solving. It can be motivational, like you say to yourself, I can do this. You can do it, Meredith. You can do it. Or instructional, like, okay, if I only do this. And you need to, because who do you listen to more than yourself?
Do you do this? You do this.
I do it all the time.
Even down the hallway at NBC, I can do this.
Maybe not I can do this, but something. And in my car, constantly. Don't you talk out loud all the time in your car? I have long conversations for hours.
What are you talking about?
Everything.
I yell at people driving.
You're thinking through your thoughts.
You go through.
You know what you should do? You should really record yourself because it'd be interesting to see what you're doing. Like, just hit record and hear what's going on in that brain of yours.
My husband does this a lot, though. Because I live across the street, so I'll come in, for lunch break, and I'll sneak in, and he's always talking to himself. He's always painting and talking to himself. So I don't know what that really means.
I think anything procedural requires that. Like, when I build IKEA furniture, that's the only time I talk to myself. Because does anyone that's ever built IKEA furniture knows you really have to focus and talk yourself through that process.
I think it's the best way for me to keep my nerves calm because sometimes I don't like to have an argument with a person. I like to do it. So I'll have an argument and I'll hang up the phone. I'll be like, and another thing, and you better not ever in your life, all the good things you want to say to that person, and I dare you to say that to me.
That's actually brilliant. That's brilliant, yeah.
It's role playing.
All right. I don't know if you guys consider yourself adventurous. You like to have great adventures? Well, if you are so inclined, take a look at some of these extreme hotels. These are the real things revealed in the Daily Telegraph. That is the Sky Lodge Adventure Suites in Cusco, Peru. Listen up, that room is clamped to the side of the mountain. It hangs 1,300 feet in the air. That's one example. Let me show you a couple others. Let's see the next one. Okay, that's a hotel in Costa Rica. It's located inside a restored Boeing 727 frame.
I like that.
It's kind of cool. Yeah. And then here's the Hotel de Glace in Quebec, Canada, one of the most dramatic of the world's ice hotels, which are very popular. Yeah. Would you guys stay in any of them?
Yes.
I mean,
The heights, but how do you get up to that high one? I mean, I feel like you have to belay and climb up,
rappelling down to it.
Stressful. And would you get a good night's sleep in that puppy?
But that's
it's
a certain kind of person. Yeah.
It's expensive. If you want an extreme hotel, go stay in a Motel 6 in New Jersey and see how you live. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's too much money to be doing all of that.
That's a different kind of extreme.
Oh, yeah.
That's very different. I would stay in the ice one.
There's a hotel, an underwater hotel that I really want to stay at where you scuba dive to your room.
But
you have like a pool in it.
That's like the space. You have to get into a chamber and make sure there's no water in it. I would feel like something would come crashing in or
me too. I'd be very scared
I wouldn't
of that.
sleep at any of these
I
places.
think I have too much luggage for an extreme hotel. How do you get your bags into the Boeing 747?
I think it's minimalist.
Yeah.
approach.
Overhead only.
Yeah.